Keep it going.
That was good. Ooh.
Where's yours? Let me give him one.
Roll.
That's your vibrato?
Yeah, it's my vibrato.
You're in a bathtub and you're like, let it go, let it go.
That sounds better when I do this.
You sound like an Oompa Loompa. Hey everybody. We haven't done one of these in a long time, one of these interview things. It's a not so serious interview, and the reason we do this is because people ask cosplayers basic goofy questions. So we like to knock those out of the way so that way you guys just have a video to watch and you don't have to worry about doing it all the time. So, and then you get to learn some stuff about the people I'm hanging with. Heather 1337, explain that. That's her cosplay name.
My name?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got the name because a long time ago, in the OG gaming times, elite stood for elite, and then it kind of translated to numbers to letters. So the 1 would replace the L, the 3 stood for an E, and then the 7 stood for the T. So it's kind of like a way of writing elite in games.
Because I remember you saying something about, you got to look at it upside down.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you
I
just
got
go
a
by
calculator.
elite. So did elite just become a word?
Yeah, kind of. It just, yeah.
Yeah, because for a while there, I just thought your name was a number, and then you said, no, it's a word.
Yes,
And,
it means lead.
but I thought Leet was your real name at first. I didn't know you had a real name.
I wish
That
it
was
was my real
Brian.
name.
My real name's Brian.
Yeah, my real name's Brian.
So you've been known as the songbird of your generation.
Is this on
Do you sing?
No. Well, I do, but no one would want me to.
How
Does
do
that make sense?
how do they know?
I mean, I've had roommates in the past, and
And they say stop.
I sing in the shower, and it's never good because every time I get out of the shower, everyone has already left the house.
And there's
So-
like holes in the wall where they just in the shape of them.
The mirror is slowly cracking in the bathroom. There's like spider cracks just like slowly growing across the mirror. Yeah, that's kind of when I knew that I had a problem.
Can you do high pitched heavy metal screams?
No. I mean, maybe now since I'm sick, so my throat is making some noises that it normally wouldn't make. So I might be able to get like a...
But when you're in the bathroom, you get that nice reverb, right?
Oh yeah, very nice reverb. Some paradiddle throat gurgles.
How'd you get started in cosplay?
So I got started through Star Wars. I went to a Star Wars convention in Orlando, and I went in like this really shitty Amazon bought like Padme Amidala costume, and
I've never even seen those.
and I was a blonde one too. I didn't even like go with the wig. I just went like with my hair like in a bun, and I had these really horrible sneakers on, and the costume was like it only went down to like my ankle. So like I had this, they're horrible pictures.
You bought it for like a kid's costume?
No, it was an adult costume, but it was still like super short on me. My legs are too long. Whatever. So yeah,
What made you want to go to a convention though? Was it a Star Wars convention?
Yeah, it was a Star Wars convention, and I didn't have any friends that I knew that were actually like into Star Wars or into like the convention scene at the time. So I called up my dad and told him, I was like, Dad, there's a Star Wars convention next weekend. Him and I had gone to see the newer Star Wars movies together. So I was like, would you like to go with me? And he said yes. So it was my dad and I that went.
What was the first Star Wars movie you saw in the theater?
Was
Fucking pod racing?
yeah, pod racing. Was the first one I saw.
And you became a Star Wars fan after that. Why? Because you went and watched the
No,
original?
I was a Star Wars fan before that because my dad's a diehard Star Wars fan. So
But he hated the prequels.
well, yeah, I mean, I don't really know.
He liked Darth Maul, but he hated everything else.
Yeah.
But like for newbie cosplayers and perverts that just want to know where you're going to be next so they can pick you up in the kidnap van, what's your advice for, people that are getting started on how to... Just keep posting and hope people throw you a bone?
Just hope that at some point, yeah, like you might get noticed along the way. Like just keep putting out like badass stuff that makes you happy, and then at some point someone is gonna hopefully take notice of that and be like, wow, this girl's pretty badass. Like I want her to come out and like represent like my brand or like be at my show to attract people to it because they want to meet her. So yeah, just keep doing her thing.
Do you think cocaine helps?
Oh yeah. Cocaine.
See how Batman questioned her into that?
I was like, this might be funny to go along with. But wait, it's probably a bad
What do you think's worse for you, heroin or cocaine?
As a
From
drug?
personal experience.
Well, I've never actually seen them in person. So,
So,
judging by movies, I think heroin is considered worse. But aren't they the same chemical makeup?
I don't know, Heather. Why don't you tell me?
Well, I think
You seem to be
I think
the
it's
Breaking Bad star on this.
I did love Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is an awesome show.
I
If
said,
you haven't
Heather, do you
watched it, you
like-
have to watch
I
it.
said, Heather, you like cocaine? She's like, you goddamn right.
Yeah.
That's what he says in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's what he says. But yeah, I'm gonna go with heroin being worse than cocaine.
So for a new cosplayer, which should they choose? You're a role model now. These people want to know.
Starting out, I would probably,
Quaaludes.
what is a Quaalude?
You don't know what a Quaalude is? Sure you don't. People assume attractive people have it easier. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, my life is really hard, so, I mean, sometimes I get envious of those good-looking people out there in the world, and...
Shut your face! Do you think because some people are saying free the nipple and all that stuff like that, and some people are saying keep your boobies covered, that there should be a compromise where you can just have one tit hanging out? Everybody just walking around with one boob.
Uni tit?
Yeah, you can have one boob just hanging out of your shirt.
Uni tit shirts?
Yeah, and that way if you come across somebody that doesn't into that, you can just turn this way, and if somebody else, you're like, right on.
That's like half of the goods, though. You don't want to give away, any of the goods.
What's your best Darth Vader quote?
I am your father, probably, is the most...
What's your second best?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
What's your third best?
I don't know. I mean, they're all probably all like the most notorious ones that he has said. They're all good.
What about when they go to that Death Star, this was a deleted scene, and they knock on the bathroom door and he's like, I'm in here.
Yeah, I think they cut that scene. That was in the extra credits.
Be out in a second.
That's what you need.
Poop
but-
in.
That's why he actually wears that gas mask, is because when he's going to the bathroom, it smells so bad that in order to survive, he has to have a respirator.
I'm trying to have a serious interview in here, and she's not taking it seriously. She is a big dork. Do you think it's hokey that Anakin, as a baby, Qui-Gon was like, he's got some Force shit in him, and then Luke, Obi-Wan was like, you've got some Force shit in you, but yet it's only Rey that they're like, hey, you got a lot of Force shit in you. She's like, watch me lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
Luke was getting beamed with that little fucking floating ball, and he had the mask on.
Trained and taught how to.
And she didn't have one goddamn lesson, and she's fighting a guy that
That's true.
knew enough to make his own fucking lightsaber, even
That
if it
is
sucked.
true. Yeah, maybe we should have someone do.
Do you
it.
think that's just Star Wars saying we're gonna give women an extra little
No,
nudge up to the light bulb?
No, it's not. I think that if they did a midichlorian count on her, that it would be very high. Maybe even higher than Anakin's. We don't know.
Does it bother you as a science dork that they have explosions in space? And
No.
they make sounds?
No, because I don't try and scrutinize the science behind it when watching Star Wars. Star Wars, I just watch to enjoy. I love the storyline. I love everything about it. So I don't sit there like everybody did with what was the movie? The outer space movie that came out, Interstellar.
Yeah.
How everybody broke down the science behind Interstellar, and they were like, this would never work, this wouldn't happen, it doesn't make sense. People just shut up and enjoy the movie. The movie is made as entertainment. It's not a documentary teaching you about the inner workings of space and quantum mechanics. It's meant to just be watched and enjoyed.
But what about the science of how they change it from Han shooting first?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That's what I thought you would say.
Han did
That's what I was
first.
getting basically too.
Yeah. Point mean.
If you could
Han
have
shot first.
if you could have a superpower, what would it be? Invisible girl, so you could walk around naked?
Well, I do that anyway.
Yeah, but you're not invisible. People are like, oh my god, you're naked.
That's true.
She's on heroin.
I would want to be able to communicate with all living things. That or flying.
Yeah, the only,
I want to know what Mojo and Carrie are thinking right now. as
the
they're
problem with
sleeping on the
that,
couch.
the problem with that is, I know 8 people, and my phone's blowing up all the time. So imagine if
Yeah.
everything, I'd have grasshoppers coming and going, what's up, David? And I'd be like, shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I'm finally alone. I'm
But
turning
I-
my phone off, and a fly would come by. Heather, how are you, Heather? what are you doing, Heather?
I guess, yeah, and then we would feel bad if we could talk to ants as like we're killing ants like off our counter, and that would be really difficult. Every time we step on like something and it's like shouting at you like, fuck you.
Ouch.
Ouch, you just killed my brother. My brother's dead.
My brother's dead.
You bitch.
Go on without me.
How could you do this?
Yeah, that would suck.
Watch where you're going.
What's your favorite song?
Favorite song?
Straight Outta Compton, NWA.
I don't know.
Oh.
I love music so much. I don't know if I have a favorite.
You know why? Because you listen to a lot of dance music, and who remembers the title to any dance song?
Yeah. Well, I know some of them because
I like that one song. It's called Ooch, 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 Ooch.
basically all of them.
Ooch.
All of them.
Yeah.
Anything that's done by John Williams, since we're on a Star Wars kick right now.
You know what's funny is I was listening to the E.T. soundtrack.
E.T. is a phenomenal soundtrack. Wait, you don't like it?
I love it.
Were you trying to be sarcastic?
No,
Oh,
I
okay,
just
good.
said it was.
Yeah, E.T. is great. Indiana Jones soundtrack is awesome.
Jaws.
Jaws is a great one. That's probably the most recognizable one. Dun, dun, dun. Can we put like a shark fin on Carrie? Just like have Carrie like running around. Dun, 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 dun.
That's animal cruelty.
Shark bug.
That's animal cruelty.
Shark bug.
What's your favorite book? Because you read a
Favorite
lot.
book.
Now you started doing this.
This is hard. I have a book club.
Yeah, I was gonna say you started doing this book club on your Patreon.
Yeah.
No, what? So basically, they sign up your Patreon and they get homework.
No, I mean it's for people who actually like reading and want to like do something as a group.
But you don't have like, here's an algebra book, learn some shit, come back to me and get this fucking equation right.
No, it's nothing like that. We pick badass books. Like the next book that we're reading is World War Z. So it's supposed to be a really, really awesome book. So we all read at our own pace. We have like, we don't set like really strict time requirements to read them. And then we just kind of like get together and chat about the couple chapters.
That's
And
like if you had a movie club and everybody went to the movies, everybody could get together and talk about.
Yep. We're actually planning on doing movie nights also, where we're all just sitting and watching the same movie. at the
Well,
same
you just
time.
saw Star Trek, the newest Star Trek last night. What did you think of that?
It was cool. The chick in it is so badass. So badass.
I think her name
wanna-
was Jayla or something.
Yeah, I want to like run around as Jayla, like all the time.
What does it take to get you mad? Stubbing your toe? A video game?
Stubbing a toe, no. Video games, yes.
Are you the ones that scream
People
at the
who
TV?
chew loud, like any kind of like chewing loud while you're eating, drives me insane.
But you still smile at it, or do you actually raise your fork to the throat?
No, I just in my head I'm just like picturing myself like killing them.
You're a tiny little hobbit woman. Do you even lift?
Who's writing these questions?
These come straight. These come straight from the pants.
Oh my god. No, I don't lift.
Do you exercise at all?
Yeah, sometimes I do like like my nightly Pokemon run where I'm catching my Pokemon and just like stretching the legs a bit.
But you don't get out and jog.
No.
You eat kind of crap food most of the time.
Yeah.
Drink Coke.
Yeah. I'm a real role model, kids.
So you're just what, skinny by nature?
Skinny by nature. Yeah, definitely skinny by nature.
You stream a lot. What do you dig about it?
About streaming, I think interacting with people is the best part.
But is it weird that you don't get, all you see is just people words and you know all these people are staring at you
Yeah, it's a little
with
weird.
one hand?
Yeah, sometimes with one hand.
You know what I mean.
Oh god. Oh god. No. No.
I mean like they're waving. What do you-
Mental image.
Pervert.
Oh my god, mental image. More questions?
That's that heroin. It's making y'all twiggity out.
Is that what it does? I thought in movies people just like pass out after.
Patreon is a thing now.
Patreon is a thing. It's a
How
great
would you
thing.
how would you justify it to people that think it's all about money and greed?
It's not. It's actually just a way for us to give people an option. Like, it's an option. People don't have to do it to be more involved with us. Like, people that want to support what we do have the ability to support, like, what we do and to just be like, hey, look, I think your stuff is awesome. I'm going to help support you create further things and to make this maybe more of, like, a professional part of your life. And it's for people that really just want to interact with us more and get to know us more on like a more personal level. So it's nothing that's forced down people's throats to like, oh, you have to do this if you want to continue seeing any of my stuff. Like we still post on all public social media outlets and stuff. So it's just, I don't know, it's an extra option for people.
Well, here's my take on it because you're so freaking polite about stuff.
Oh.
I have to be your conscience. I have to be the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
One, Facebook and now owns Instagram.
Facebook is shit.
So Facebook's now screwing with Instagram and showing you only stuff they want. So you guys do not get to see everything. It used to be they could post stuff on social and everybody would get to see it. And then they said, no, we're going to screw with that. And now you won't get to see it. So a lot of Patreon is, ooh, we have a website now that people can see everything we want them to see.
Yeah.
Then the other thing is when we want to do modeling and sexier modeling for fun, we don't want to post it to social all the time because there's so many image thieves out there and there's so many of these hot girl cosplay and sexy nerds and these people that basically just go steal photos, upload them, don't bother crediting just so they can boost their own likes. So having it on Patreon and having it protected is the same thing I said about like the Norman Reedus thing. If people pay to see it, they're less likely to go throwing it everywhere and
Right,
abusing
they're
it.
going to respect it more.
Exactly.
I be the very best I know.
In a second, her family's gonna walk in, and we're gonna do an intervention.
My real test, rhythm is my cause.
You sound like Katharine Hepburn. Oh, Norman, you old poop.
Hey
That's one going.
everybody, I'm Harry Carey. What's your favorite planet? Mine's the moon. Here's a question. Would you eat the moon if it were made of spare ribs?
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I love him. He's awesome.
I like the fact that you've also seen movies.
Yeah, you know, it's because I have no life and I don't get
I
outside.
noticed one cosplayer who hasn't seen any movies. Gladiator, Forrest Gump, Braveheart, every movie you can imagine that's good. And you know how sometimes like you just did a reference to a TV show or a movie?
Yes.
A lot of times when you talk to people, you throw out a
People like
reference.
catch on to like
Yeah,
what
you
you're
throw out a
talking about.
catchphrase or something. And when I talk to her, it's almost like she's speaking another language because I'll say something to her and it's a reference and I wait for her to go, ah! Yeah.
Yeah, that's no fun.
What did you saw Forrest Gump? What did you think of that?
I love Forrest Gump. I've seen it so many times. I've honestly seen it like more than a dozen times, for sure.
Well, that was heroin addict Heather 1336.
Oh my God, David!
All right, I'll cut that out.
Yeah, thank you.
Cocaine, crackhead, no drugs.
No. Cat, Star Wars living, Heather. That's me.
You gotta be high to like any of that stuff.
Scotch. I love Scotch.
This is your
Here
warm
it
up?
goes down to my throat.
That's your warm up?
Brown cow. Brown cow. It's like the facial movements, I think.
Oh,
Like brown cow.
You want to get those facial movements.